Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Valhelsia 3. So since the last episode, a bit of time has passed. I've actually started building... What are you complaining about? Oh, they're sick. Okay. I've started building the town over, or the create area a bit. I've started working on that, and I'm about to actually, after this episode, be recording another segment of that, but at this point I really have to go farm clay. And I really don't want to do it right now, so I was like, well, I'm gonna do a bit of work over in the colony, and I have been upgrading some buildings. So you will notice a little bit has changed. I did manage to get a guard tower built here and bring out our borders a bit, and added a little house here. And I've also, since I've set hiring and setting citizens and stuff, I've set this to automatic for now. And the reason being is because with the schools and stuff, I just find it to be a bit easier at this point. You can see that our kids are going to school now, and they have been learning. Some of these are quite educated. Some of these are more educated than our adults are at the moment. And over here at the library, she has been diligently working in the library. I don't feel like her stats are that high. I actually don't have the footage anymore because I've just been like mass recording at this point due to upload speed being slow, and I cleaned out my recordings the other day because they were basically getting filled up, what I had edited, and it just so happens the last episode was one of those things. But I don't think that it's actually increased that much, and quite a bit of time has passed, and I actually made up a bunch of paper and brought it over to her, and I still don't feel like her stats have went up that much. I think knowledge and intelligence maybe creativity, but still really, really low. So I don't know if this is really doing a whole lot, but it looks cool. So we're gonna leave it. And let's see, I did a little bit of research and stuff, and I did expand our town hall to a level 3 at this point. I'm actually kind of getting antsy to push on for stage 4s before too long, and go find a guardian temple. But that's something we may start looking at before too long, but I would really like to get Neptunian armor before we do that. So anyways, one thing I did discover when I was doing research, and of course, if you recall last episode, I wanted to make a plantation. However, if we take a look here, somewhere about... You'll notice that to get a plantation, we actually need 16 compost for that. So we're going to have to actually make the composter. We're going to do that today. And it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then we're going to have to get 16 compost to then get the plantation to get that up and going. So that is on our to-do list today. We're going to be adding some new buildings and stuff like that. And I think, after this episode, I think we might spend an episode actually upgrading gear, because this is kind of dingy. And actually building on top of that mountain, there tends to be a lot of mobs. So far they haven't been too dangerous, though. They're mostly zombies, but it would just make my life a little bit easier if I killed things faster when I do have to fight. So we're probably going to be looking into that. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's look at the composter first. Let's go ahead and get this underway. The composter's hut. We are going to need a compost barrel. Okay. And one thing I will say is that I'm really starting to appreciate more and more our woodcutter. Because, of course, it was quite nice before, but now building over in the create area, I'm using a lot of dark oak for that. And having just massive amounts of it has been amazing. It has been absolutely amazing. Alright, let's check out this building in our normal spot here. And, of course, we'll just kind of tab through and see what we've got to look forward to. Ooh, level 1, looking fancy. That's going to be a very cheap building to build, it seems. But let's go ahead. Acacia, level 5. Ooh, that is horrendous. That is absolutely horrendous. I was expecting it to be like bigger or something like that, but I guess it does make sense. They're just making compost, so... the Asian composter looking even worse. I do not like these walls whatsoever. But luckily we can get rid of them once we get it to a rank 5. We can just toss those walls. I'm not digging those. The Birch also not looking too great. I mean, I guess not every building should be like big and super elaborate. The cave. Okay. Dark oak. Up in the treehouse. Fortress. Okay. That looks pretty good, actually. Probably one of the best of the composters I've seen. I think it's the one I like the most. I like all these plants kind of set up on the walls back there. We got the jungle, which, okay, has a big, like, flower down there. Medieval birch. Okay. Medieval dark oak. Looks like these are just going to be color changes. Oak, spruce, mesa. Oh, wow. That's actually a mesa building that I'm not that totally turned off by. It's still just a box, but I do like kind of the carpet sticking out and stuff. I like it. I like it more than the other mesa buildings. We'll put it that way. The Nordic one actually looks pretty good. I like that. Kind of the heel and stuff going on there. That big compost pile. I actually do a lot of composting in real life, so not quite to that degree. I don't have a huge pile. We actually do it in totes, and if you basically you drill holes into the tote in these large totes, and then you set them out so they can get water and stuff and have access, you know, have holes in the ground to drain and stuff. The sandstone one has a spike pit. Okay. Or the Space Wars, I mean. The stone one. Okay. True Dwarven. I actually like that. I still don't like the doors on all four sides. That drives me insane. But that building actually looks pretty good. And it's got the mycelium and stuff there. The warped one, I actually like that too. I just don't like the Asian one that much. It's kind of bleh. I love that, like, walkway across. We're actually doing that over in the create area, or will be, but on a much larger scale than that. But and the wooden one. Okay, so what we're going to be going with, of course, just to fit the theme of our town, is this little shack. Oh, goodness. Okay, that looks like a tier 3, to be honest. But it's going to be a very cheap building for us. So let me figure out where we're going to put this thing at. It's going to be over in kind of the farming area. Also worth mentioning, there is an update, or I think there's 2 updates now, for, and it does remove this chunk loader because of issues. Personally, I haven't encountered any of those issues, so I'm not going to remove it at the moment, because without that chunk loader, the alternatives for chunk loaders are actually not good. It's like mechanism, and that's about it. Somewhere about mechanism has one, and I think that's really the only other chunk loader, really. So I'm not going to be removing it at the moment. I'm not having issues with it, and until I get to the point where I can make other chunk loaders, I'm just not going to take it out, because, like I said, I'm not really having any issues with it at the moment. By the way, this is the tier 2 smith, the tier 2 smithy over here, and then we also have the tier 3 blacksmith. Now, there's a huge issue with this blacksmith at the moment, and that is the fact that the villagers love to try to get out of this right here, which would not be the issue if we would fix our roads, so we're going to be doing that soon, and actually giving the villagers some kind of logic when it comes to moving around the town. We're going to be doing that here very, very soon. So naturally, we're going to come back behind these animals here and tuck it away back here. Compost does smell horrendous. We, like in real life, we only compost like vegetable matter, like plant matter, fruit and vegetables, that sort of thing. But I imagine they're going to be composting like manure and stuff. So we're going to set it back here. And let's see, where's the entrance? Does it even have an entrance? It's really just a little shack. So there's technically, that's not really an entrance. That's got a barrel in front of it. And that's not really even technically an entrance. I'm going to say that that's the entrance. Right? So I don't think we're going to enter it from this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over. I don't know. This place doesn't even have like an entrance. It's just like a shack. We're going to flip it over like this, and we'll just make do. Maybe make some adjustments once we get it up to max rank. I feel like that would be the time to really kind of bring everything together. And then we're going to drop it down like that, I think. Let's see. I don't want it completely butted up against these walls, though, because then the walls will connect. So I don't want to do that. But one block gap between them will be good. Alright, and we're just going to put it right in here. Which does mean we're not going to have to redo the walls for this. So that's good. Drop it down. There we go. So we're going to build the composter right here. Somewhere. Need to make another shovel. Who's got a crafting table? There we go. Having it tucked behind the animals here will kind of mask the smell, I think. So, it should work out for us. There we go. But I want to get into enchanting and stuff here soon. So, that is one thing that we're going to be starting on before too long. Builder, mark. We're going to have to get Podzol. But the rest of this is all really easy. I'll have to see what I can do about some Podzol. I don't know if I can craft it. If so, then that's not going to be too big of an issue, but... I know if we had Botania, we could easily make it, but... I mean, you know, if we had advanced in Botania at all, but... He has begun building the Composter. I'm just helping clear some of this crap out. Because there was a lot of dirt in here. But I have noticed he's been building really, really quick. I did get one research for, I think it's like 25% increase to block play speed. And it's definitely been noticeable with the builder a lot. He can knock through buildings quite a bit faster at this point. So, and right now I don't have any research queued up because I'm really waiting to get the combos required. I don't really know how this thing works, but we're going to find out. What it is that they're going to be composting. Wow, I used up that entire shovel. Okay, I'm just going to let him finish. His tools last longer than mine anyways, so we'll just let him take over. Alright, so while he's doing that, let me go get the stuff that he's going to need. Make sure that he's got that, and then we're going to go ahead and start getting ready for another building. I always take that path. I got to put flowers there, but I'm waiting until I get it to a maximum size building. Because I don't feel like doing any building on like anywhere within range of these buildings right now is really productive because the builder's just going to destroy it whenever they come through and do their stuff. Alright, so the Cauldron. Okay, now we just need the 2 Podzol at this point. So, there is no way to make it. Wonderful. So I'm going to have to actually go out and get some using Silk Touch. So that's going to be cool. Okay, I have an idea. Here's what we're going to do. I have a chisel somewhere. I just don't remember what I did with it. But I'm just going to grab one here. And let's go out and find ourselves a bit of Podzol. First I was thinking, well, we might go with Tetra, but I believe the only way with Tetra... Tetra's one of those mods. I've played around with it a little bit. I'm not a big fan of it whatsoever. I don't like just tool mods like that, like Tinkers. And that's pretty much what it is. Plus, it sticks underground stuff everywhere. And I hate that. Since you can't break it or anything. But I believe the only way within Tetra to get Silk Touch is actually have an enchanted book of it. Because at first I was like, well, we might just go with like a, you know, what is it, the adze. That's the shovel and the axe, and then do a pickaxe head. Stick Silk Touch on, like the adze, and then go from there. But it's like, I'd still need the Silk Touch book, and I don't have experience sorted away just yet. We haven't built the Enchanting Tower, and so I think it's just going to be easier. Just to go out and cheese this with a little bit of chisels and bits, and just place the pods all ourselves. I think that's going to be the easiest way. I've shown off, like, doing this in the past, but with chisels and bits, you can pretty much, and little tiles too for that matter, you can pretty much just silk touch anything you want in the game right out the gate. It's wonderful. Well, let's see if we can find ourselves some podzol. It's not looking super promising at the moment. But I did find another portal, like ruin, so we can get some free loot out of that. And I will definitely take the gold. I'm always short on gold, I feel like. Yeah. And does this one have a chest? I don't think that it does. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any pods on. I'm probably going to warp back home. Yeah. Now is it spruce trees that automatically make pods all around them? I may actually have some up here, I don't know. Well, I didn't plant 2x2 spruce. I believe it's spruce, 2x2 spruce that automatically just makes podzol, so let's just go get some spruce. And we'll just make ourselves some podzol. That'll probably be the easiest way to go about it, I think. And we'll just head a little ways out, because I don't really want the podzol in the middle of my town. And we'll just go make ourselves a 2x2 spruce tree. Actually, I could put it right here, because a lot of this is going to get ripped up, so just put it here. And go. Oh, you know what, though? I wonder if... Yeah, it's fine. But it might be that they'll place the... Well, I don't know. Okay, like... I know with grass, they don't actually need grass blocks. They just place it with dirt. But I don't know that podzol is going to be that way, and that's because podzol actually comes up as required, whereas grass doesn't. So, I don't know. We'll find out. But right now we have the 2 podzol, so as soon as he gets down to where he needs the podzol, we can place that ourselves to get him moving forward. I don't know where he's at on the building, if he would need it just yet or not, but we'll find out. Oh, this is items to compost. Ha ha ha! Okay. I wish there was a limit. Like, for example, seeds. I wish I could say, like, all beyond, you know, so much you can do, like, wheat seeds. But I think my farmer does have wheat seeds. The only thing is I was wanting to keep, like, some on hand. He does keep a bit of them, so I guess I'll just tell him to, like, compost wheat seeds or something. Or saplings, maybe? For right now, we're just going to compost, like, wheat seeds, I think. So, you can compost that, and that's all for the time being. Okay, I thought I had started recording, and I didn't. But it's fine, I didn't really do anything. I was just looking at some stuff, but the composter is now running, but she is... Well, I'm assuming that she's cranking away. Maybe not. Yeah, she's got 7 compost. So we are making some progress. I've got to get up to 16 compost to get the research that I need for the plantation. So that is going to take a little bit of time. Now, I did go ahead and I made the Enchantress Tower. And I thought I was recording whenever I made that, but apparently I wasn't. And so we're going to quickly go over. Unfortunately, I've already seen them, but... I will say I was a little bit disappointed because it's called Enchanters Tower. Most of these are not towers, and the ones that are towers are not really like a mage tower like I would have imagined. But that's the acacia one. Not really crazy about this at all. And then we've kind of got some multicolored roofing going on, which, okay. I don't mind that, but it just doesn't look, as a level 5, that just doesn't look all that appealing, I don't think. Now moving on, I'm gonna save the Asian one for last because it is, most of these are kind of bleh. The Asian one is like super impressive. So there's the Birch, which is more like a really colorful, strange guard tower than Mage Tower, I think. But there is that. You know, I was expecting something with like the little like rooms off the side and stuff, like really kind of a wizard tower type feel, but I don't think any of these really hit it for me. Cave is like that. Dark oak is a tree, or it's actually a segment of trees, as you can see. Not crazy about it. But there is that. The dark oak stuff I'm just generally not super fond of. I like the jungle stuff because it's big trees, like tree houses. These are like small trees, which I'm not crazy about. The fortress one, I'm also not really crazy about. It's like that. It's kind of cluttery, and you kind of have this floating island that's just like shoved in here. It would have been better, I think, if it had been floating up higher, but not really crazy about that. The jungle one, I actually like this. It's really, really plain, but it's like a jungle temple to some degree, and it would kind of fit, you know, being one of the few buildings that are on the ground. I think it'd be kind of cool just for variety. I mean, as far as a Mage Tower or an Enchantment Tower, it doesn't really feel right, but it is pretty cool. Now, these I do like. These are the medieval ones. Now, they don't... To me, they don't scream enchantment whatsoever. But they would be cool to kind of mix up within a build because you have all these different tents. I'd want to build like all of them and have them set up. Like you even got your Slytherin tent there. What, maybe Hufflepuff or something. And the oak and the dark oak are like the exact same. But you do have the birch and you have the spruce and the oak, so you really only have like 3, I guess. But since the flags change is all. Mesa, probably my least favorite Mesa building to date. It's just a big pile of, it's like a really badly designed multi-layer cake kind of thing. The Nordic one, I do like this. This is probably one of the closest to feeling like a magic tower to me. Still kind of misses the mark, but of course I'm thinking more like the fantasy Mage Towers, I think. But it's kind of cool because I actually built a building recently on Enigmatica that's kind of somewhat similar to this, not really, but kind of like really, really tall and stuff. And it doesn't have the stuff hanging off. It's more of like Victorian architecture, I suppose. The sandstone, I do like this one because you kind of have like a pyramid going on, which is kind of spiffy. Space Wars is this big monstrosity thing. Interesting, but I don't know that I'm like super crazy about it. But it's more, a lot of the Space Wars stuff is more futuristic or modern design, which I'm not crazy about. You got the stone, which is like a tower, kind of, but still not what I think of as a Mage Tower, to be honest. And then the wooden one, of course, is really, really similar, but being made of wood. And then you have the True Dwarven, which I'm not super crazy about. Once again, has 4 doors for whatever reason. And then there is the Warped one, which is extremely small, but I do like this one. And a lot of the reason being is, if we take a look here, you can see there's kind of a soul sand patch that kind of runs through there and like a bridge connecting. Just kind of a little interesting thing there. It's all outdoors. Now for the Asian one. This one is mind-blowing. It's not really a tower, but it does feel magical. There is the Asian building here, which is quite spiffy. And if you notice, there is a big floating lotus flower up there. So super, super awesome, I think. I actually considered at first setting it up near, because I want some stuff over by that. But at the same time, I think that's so big and so, like, spiffy that I think it's going to detract from that building. So I don't want to do that because it would just take too much away. So I think I'm going to make this the focal point of kind of our educational, higher learning kind of district of the town. And we're going to have it set up over here because we'll have the library, we'll have the school, we have the university back behind that, and then we'll have the Enchanters Tower back here. And that's actually where I had started kind of setting up for, and then I realized that I wasn't recording. I was like, oh no. But we're going to go ahead and just drop this down. Let's bring it over. Something like this, but up by 1, I think. Right. Yeah. So right in there, same elevation, because it's going to be sitting on that raised platform anyways. And then we're going to bring it in. I'm actually going to have it just be lined up there. Which will leave it setting in a pretty good spot. It's going to be a few blocks away from this house here. And then we're going to back it up. Or we're going to move it forward to right there. I think that's where I had it. And then I had started building out this wall here. So right in there. And then that means we'll have this big floating lotus flower thing there. And it doesn't really stick off the back or anything, which is good for us. So we'll go ahead and just accept that. And let's go. So it takes 5 oak bookshelves, which I've got those. And then just a bunch of this stuff here. A lot of dirt, but it's going to have to fix the ground. So that's fine. We're going to go ahead and say, whoops, mark, and build the building. Oh, it's outside. Wait a second. I was able to build it before. I was able to start it up, queue it up. Why can't I this time? Give me a second. I could have swore that I got it queued up last time. I think I have to move it forward like one more block or something. I kind of like, I like the way that the chunk claiming stuff works now, but I also think it needs to give us maybe some more chunks at a time, because one chunk for most buildings and 3 chunks for like guard towers and stuff like that, it's a little bit on the low side, I think. So it is a little bit of a nuisance there, trying to like expand, especially if you were building anything that had a lot of like dead zone stuff in it. It would be such a nightmare, I think, to try to do anything. Alright, so if I push it up like this, we'll have a bit more behind here, which is fine. And I'm betting we'll be able to bring it back one more. I'm betting we'll be able to build it here, so we'll go ahead, just accept that and build options. There we go. That time it worked. There's somewhere in there, like, you don't have to have the entire building, I've discovered, in these zones. And in some cases, like I know this guard tower, like most of it was hanging out. But you also can't have your workbenches right on the border. So there's some kind of a sweet spot in there somewhere. I just don't know 100% exactly where that sweet spot is. Is this area too dark? It looks, yeah, because I upgraded this. He left it dark. Sometimes they're so bad about lighting stuff up. Okay, well, I'm going to get these dirt walls built out, get this building built. It's not a ton of stuff that we need for it. And then hopefully get the rest of the compost that we need so I can go ahead and queue up the plantation research. And then I'll be back here in just a bit. Don't walk the walls. I don't want you to walk the walls. I don't. Because of that. And you're going to get exploded. Or not. Okay. Is it because he's inside the village? Maybe? Is that why? Maybe creepers don't explode inside the village? Alright, but I will be back here in just a bit. Okay, he's got all the materials that he needs at this point. It's really just oak. A lot of oak. But we do have the compost that we need, so I'm going to go ahead and queue up the plantation research. I think it's like a couple hours on that one. And I need to go farm clay. I didn't really get a chance to, because I was doing a bit of landscaping. But I do need to go farm up clay here soon. And that's for the build, which, like I said, that episode will come out just once it's done. Yeah, plantation. And that is, yeah, that's just a 2-hour one. That's not too bad. Probably won't get to it this episode, but there is another building that I would like to do. And while he's finishing that up, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Barracks. The Barracks Tower placeholder, Barracks Tower, or just Barracks? Okay, yeah, let's just do the Barracks. This is one I've been wanting to get this made, and I'm quite curious about how this is gonna look. Oh, my town is steadily coming up. I want to push to tier 4 stuff so bad. I really think we're going to have to go out and do that here soon. I think it's all just... Oh, this could be massive. Oh, wow. Wow, this thing is huge. Okay, let's go to the Acacia. Level 5. Okay. That's kind of blah, to be honest, but it's got pathways coming. This building, it makes sense. You know, pathways coming in, doors on all sides, whatever. This one's not too bad. I don't mind it. The Asian one, oh, wow. It's so pretty. I would think there'd be walls, though. Let's shift it over because it's kind of sticking through. I would think there'd be walls running around. We can always build walls, like bring this out just around it, you know. Oh, and it looks like this would be good to have on kind of a wall section. Like the back end there. Is that the kind of wall? I do like those walls. So if we had these running around the entire city, that would be okay with me, I think. And another thing I was wanting to get researched, actually, was the mechanic. Or did I... Let me see. I can't remember if I already researched the mechanic or not. Yeah, no, I haven't. I think there was some reason that I hadn't. I think it was something I had to upgrade first, but I do love that building, though. Then we have the Birch, which has like a moat. Beyond that, it's just a big box. The Cave, which looks like Torch City over here. Torches everywhere. Just everywhere. Torches and like floating torches and all kinds of stuff. Oh, that's coming together. Then we have the Dark Oak. Which once again, a lot of these are like one big structure. I see there's scale mail, there's iron. Oh, that's leather there, and then gold. That's kind of cool. Fortress. Okay. This is actually just a huge tunnel with like a drawbridge kind of thing. Okay. Fortress Alternative. I like that more than the other one. It does have the floating painting thing, but I do like that one quite a bit more. We have the Jungle. Oh, wow. I love the Jungle one. I can't wait for like a Jungle City. Medieval Birch. Okay. Medieval Birch Alternative. Okay. Then we have the Medieval Dark Oak. And the Medieval Oak. Okay. Oak Alternative. Spruce. Spruce Alternative. Alright. Mesa. What is this piddly little thing? Like, it's hard to compare. Like, if you look at Mesa and then you look at, like, Asian or even Nordic, you know, it's hard to really compare them, I think. That's strange. There's just one long line there that can be whatever. Sandstone, not really crazy about that. I feel like they could have done a lot of really cool stuff with the sandstone. Once again, it's just the same on all sides. Space Wars. Yeah, probably if I was going to do a desert barracks, I would probably do the Space Wars ones. It's still not great, but it's still better than the sandstone. Maybe do both just for variety. Stone. Okay. And of course the wooden is pretty much the same thing. The true dwarven. Oh my god. That's awful. I feel like I'm missing, because everything's floating, I feel like there's something missing there. And then we do have the warped, which, okay. And once again, it suffers from that just being the same on all sides. I'm not crazy about that, but that's okay. We get to go with the Asian one, which is by far the best one. This is pretty nice. But I am going to probably butt this up against an outer wall somewhere. And out of curiosity, ooh, where am I going to put this thing at, though? That is the question. The level 1, does it have the big wall on the back? Like, let's find where the wall's at on the level 5. Right there. The level 1 does have a wall that runs on the back. Okay. Level 3. Oh. It just looks so good. It just looks so good. Oh my gosh. And I think this is going to claim a lot of space. It might be worth waiting for that to get done and stick it back here. Somewhere. Once again, I do wish that it was easier to kind of boost out territory than it is, but that's okay. But maybe having it back over here, that should claim a good chunk of this, and having it pushed back and then running the walls out from that, maybe. So, God, such a monstrosity. The only thing is I really don't want it over in this area, truth be told, and that's because it's going to be noisy. The barracks is natural. It's going to be a noisy place. You know, people sparring and stuff. I would think it's going to be a very... You don't have any dirt left over? No. I'll have to go grab some. It's going to be a very noisy place. So I think I'm probably going to have to figure out something. And I was also thinking I may actually change where the university entrance is so that it's more... maybe if I can get it set up to be right here, that's where I'd like to have it. But I think it's more centered with its plate. No, it's actually... Okay, yeah. I'm probably going to rotate and get the university entrance to be right in here. And that way we can have it more part of this, like, school area. Now, in a perfect world, what I would have liked to have done is built, like, a campus area that was kind of walled off and had all of this stuff kind of in there. But the big difficulty with that is the fact that you're pretty much just nickel and diming territory so much within Minecolonies that it's actually kind of tough to do that, to be honest. But I think what I'm going to do with the barracks... Okay, here's my idea. We're going to put this somewhere else. We're not going to build it right this second. But I will hopefully start it up in the next, like, maybe between episodes or something like that. Since we have looked at it. But what my plan is building a kind of a garrison. Not just having the barracks smack dab wherever. But instead building a garrison out somewhere. And doing 4 guard towers around it. And then a wall. And then having that kind of in the center. You know, the back center. Because we are going to have this be part of the exterior wall there. I think is what we're going to do. So, but we did get that in the Mage Tower. We'll classify this as kind of our magic-y area, so to speak. Back over in here. Kind of our education and magic area, I suppose. But yeah, we'll get the barracks set up. It's just going to take a little... I'm not really ready on space to get it in place just yet. Because I just don't have the territory yet. But I don't want to stick it over here. I don't want to settle for it being over in the education area because it just doesn't make much sense to be here. But, oh cool, this doesn't tell me. Gather targets. What's this do? Okay, one second. Let me Google this. Okay, so the way this is going to have to work is we are going to have to basically put in ancient tomes, and they can gather experience from workers. What I'm going to have to do, though, is actually fire one of these people. What is... Actually, I know it's mana is a big one, so 5 or 8. Yeah, we're going to fire Minecolony real quick. Manage workers. Fire Minecolony. And then we're going to pop over and hire her as the enchanter. But this is something that I'm probably not going to use until it gets at least to a rank 3. And that's because based on the rank of this... Okay, it hired her. Good. Based on the rank of this, it's going to affect... yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to affect what level enchanted books they make. And it only works with ancient tomes, which is kind of dreadful. I've got some. I would prefer... let's just set them all these to on. Yeah, you could just drain from, like, everybody that's close to this building, we'll say. I'm not going to let them drain from, like, too far, because she'll be out running around forever. But she's going to go around and she's going to take some experience from the people working around the town. She'll get that. She'll collect the experience, take it back with her, and then she can turn ancient tomes into enchanted books. Now, based on the rank of... Oh, Mark's way up there. Based on the rank of the Enchanters Tower, it's going to impact the rank of the enchanted books that she makes. So, at tier 1, she's only going to be making level 1 enchanted books. So, that's unfortunate. But, of course, at a rank 5, she'll be able to make rank 5. And have better odds of doing so with each rank also. She'll be able to make up to rank 5 enchanted books. So at that point, it'll be useful. The only thing is, ancient tomes are not super plentiful. I think I've got like 5 or 6, but I don't have a ton of them. Honestly, I think probably, I'm assuming that having a looting sword would help, maybe. But as it stands right now, I do not have a lot of tomes. So, we'll just see how she does, I suppose. But I'll try to at least get this up to a rank. I'm actually going to go ahead and just see about upgrading it, to be honest. 10 oak bookshelves. Whew, a lot of glass. Polished andesite. Oh, I bet it's going to start making the lotus flower at this point. Okay. I'll maybe get the... Oh, that's a lot of green stained glass. And I don't have my old cactus farm anymore. I tore it up to make room for this stuff. So, I might wait until we get the plantation to bother with that, because that's a lot of green dye. So I will probably wait on that, I think. But I tell you what, at this point, I know it's wrapping up point, so I think we're going to end out this episode here. We probably won't do a ton with her just yet, and I've got to get the plantation researched. And next episode, I think we are going to spend the episode doing some gear upgrades at this point, because right now, I'm actually pretty happy with where our town's at as far as a good stopping point. But Blacksmith at least level 3. I have that now. That's why I upgrade the Blacksmith. I couldn't remember. I didn't research mechanic. It's only a 2-hour thing. And that's what's going to allow us to make gates and stuff. And I want to get that before too long and start working on some actual walls to go around our town. But we shall get to that. But next episode, I would like to actually spend the episode doing some enchanting of our own. Making some better gear, maybe upgrading it. As far as gear goes, I mean, I could go with the standard diamond gear, but I have some other plans. I don't think I want to go with just standard diamond gear because it's kind of boring, and we do have some alternatives. May not be as strong. What I have in mind may not be as strong as diamond. I don't think it is, but will look a lot cooler, and it'll be a little bit more unique. I do want to get into Forbidden and Arcanus before too long also, but we'll see. Right now, create. Luckily, I'm having a lot of time to spend building. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between Enigmatica and on here doing some building. And I'm about to be doing a big heavy segment of building once I go farm up some clay. So it's going to be fun. But basically right now I've got to farm a whole lot of clay to build foundation, because I'm going to be making a lot of bricks. And the bricks that I'm going with are slightly more expensive because I'm actually over in the create area. I made a few. I'm going to pop over there here in just a second and show off kind of what I've done for the next little bit of recording. But I'm making these, and I'm just going with this method. Though, really, I guess going with the nether brick method might be better. Yeah, I'll probably go with the nether brick method, but I am going with this. And that way, at least, I'm getting better output for my clay on making these. But I do have to go farm up a whole lot of clay and now a bit of netherrack also. Basically, the create area, it'll be when we next tackle create, it'll be basically once I get the main structure where we're building everything done and the structure where the waterfall leads to, the item drop off. Now, they aren't going to necessarily be done, but at least built out to where they're usable. But they are... Originally, the buildings I was working on in my head were going to be a lot smaller, and since then, in my head, they have grown and grown to where I'm building this big double building monstrosity at the moment. So, that's going to be fun. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead, pop over there, and get recording on a bit of that. And I'm going to end this episode out here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys then.